Hey guys, in this video we're going to do an application for tennis elbow or lateral epicondylitis or extensor tendinopathy. So for this application I've cut a 25 centimeter eye strip and also a 15 centimeter Y strip. Doesn't matter what color tape you have, colors don't mean anything with this tape. I use just different colors so you can clearly see the different strips that I'm using. So the first thing we're going to do, finding that lateral epicondyle where those extensors attach. So the wrist extensors, if you find the main point bone of the elbow and just come outside of that, you should find another little bony lump. So right there, if you rub just past that bone, you should feel all those little tendons in there. So that's where we're aiming to treat. So extensor tendinopathy or tennis elbow is inflammation or irritation of those extensor tendons. So that's going to be the main point that we're trying to target with this application. So we're going to go ahead and tear the paper backing 5 centimeters from one end. You can do this in inches if you're in the States. 1.5 inch, 2 inch base. I'm using a 5 centimeter base. So where you've torn through 5 centimeters, peel back that 5 centimeters of paper backing and you can discard that. So we should now have a 5 centimeter anchor or base, and we're going to apply that just up above that lateral epicondyle with the tape directed down over the extensor tendons. So line up the tape over the forearm, and then where that bony prominence is, start that tape above the elbow so that we don't have our anchor starting directly on where we're trying to target. So we're trying to treat this area roughly here. So we've got our base or anchor applied. Give it a little bit of a rub to activate that adhesive. And then we want to get the forearm on a stretch, or the extensors on a stretch. So making a fist and flexing that wrist so that we stretch those extensors. Obviously, if you've got tennis elbow presently, just stretch it as much as is comfortable. Don't push it into pain. So get a hold of that paper backing, just peeling back an edge so that you can grab the paper backing. And all we're going to do, we're not going to apply tension to the tape. We're just going to use paper off tension, wrist inflection to stretch those extensors. And then we're going to run that tape along the forearm, all the way down, making sure that end goes down with no tension. And then give it a rub to activate that adhesive. So we should have that strip coming over that lateral epicondyle there, or those extensor tendons. So that's our first strip. So this application is one of the more commonly used ones. There's lots of ways to do this. So find what works best for you. But this is the way that I've done it a lot before. Now with our Y strip, what we're going to do is just past where it's actually split. So I've cut through the center just past where that 5 centimeter anchor is. So when you tear the paper backing, you're actually tearing across the tails, not across the base. That way, when we end up peeling the tails off, we only have to peel the paper from each tail separately. So once again, peeling the paper backing off that 5 centimeter base or anchor, you can get rid of that paper backing. So holding your tails, what we're going to do, face the tape away from you. So you've got the coloured side away, paper edge towards you. We want to start that anchor along the ulna. So that bone underneath, the forearm bone where we meet this olecranon, the bony prominence. So we're going to actually start that over that bone and at a level where we're actually going to have the tape crossing where that lateral epicondyle is. So don't put it too far down the arm or too high. Start it just past that bony prominence. So that way when we actually peel the tape, the paper backing and apply the tape, we're going to apply it around that area of pain. So first thing we want to do, grab one of those tails, peel back the paper backing, but keep an inch or a couple of centimeters still applied so that we can actually get a bit of pull on this tape without applying our skin to the actual adhesive surface. Now the next thing you want to do, grab your knee and use your knee to hold the actual anchor so that we're not pulling too much on the skin and the actual tape. We've got the knee that's guarding that anchor. And then what we're going to do is apply a good 75% stretch to the tape, and we're going to apply it around that lateral epicondyle up toward the bicep. So that once you've applied it, you're actually running on a diagonal, almost straight across that first strip, but it's actually coming up the arm. So that point of pain is still there. When we go across with the other one, we're going to surround that point of pain. Okay, so about 75% stretch. So same thing with the second tail. Peel back the paper, but keeping a couple of centimeters or an inch that we can hold on to. Going to hold that anchor with our knee, stretching 75% and then coming around and onto the forearm this time. So we've actually come around so that we're sitting on the inside of the forearm. So that way we've got a bit of a V coming up the arm and we've surrounded that point of pain. Now the tension is going to help pull the tissues to that anchor, so we're going to create a bit of a pocket over where that point of pain is. So it should still allow full range of motion. We've got our eye strip underneath, no tension on that tape. Make sure the forearm is stretched when you apply that yellow one or the eye strip on. And then the 15 centimeter Y strip, anchor on the ulna. Make sure it's directed across towards your body. Place 75% stretch approximately once you've peeled the paper backing back, and then running that tape up the arm and across the forearm so that the tissue pulls back and creates a bit of a pocket there. So that's our tennis elbow application.